Good afternoon from Europe. Good morning, good evening, guys, wherever you are. But here is Liteforex Global YouTube channel, Friday, 22nd of January 2021, and the first portion of the announcement, first portion of the data out of the Canada retail sales, and what we have here: retail sales month to the month 1.3, expectations 0, previous 0.4, retail sales ex autos 2.1, expectations 0.3, better number, and still we haven't seen any big reaction to the downside. Now, what is the trouble with the what kind of the trouble Canadian dollar may have? Well, yesterday words from Joe Biden, and who halting oil permits, and that's some kind of the there's overall to the commodity currencies. So we've seen post Biden speech huge rally over the course of the whole Tokyo and European session. Now we have the retail sales better than what market was expecting, and we are around supply zone. The thing very important here is this latest weakness, post Bank of Canada weakness, and that's been tested twice already, right? So be very careful. I would prefer, and we cannot rule that out, especially at the beginning of the next week. I would prefer some kind of the better levels from the long perspective around 26.50 down to 26.10, this type of the zone. I'm not gonna chase the price around the current level, and we make the move, of course partially some kind of the profit taking towards the end of the week as well, right? The next big level here, the next big level on the Canadian dollar is of course a weekly open, so levels close to 27.30, and I do expect some volatility around these levels eventually. If the market is going to get back above and close, let's say above 27.50-60, that could be very nice lower shadow on the weekly chart. So when it comes to the USDCAD post Canadian retail sales, I'm staying flat. I'm not chasing the market unless we are going to see the deeper pullback below 26.50 towards 26.20, 26. That's how I see the things to the USDCAD. Again, Canadian retail sales better than what market was expecting. Now, Euro dollar post PMI ahead of the post European PMI ahead of the US PMI. Finally we hit that level. If you do remember, I've been trying to exactly explain you why we might see another rally. Because of the pullback we were testing the latest demand, and we've seen that. So well, I've been short earlier, but market gave another chance for those who were a little bit late to try to trade to the downside. Now of course we have US PMI later on, and I think the key level here is levels around 21.50 based on what we have towards the weekly close, right? Supply hit, we would like to see upper shadow, and supply from the daily chart 50% of the drop, base drop, and we still, I think, got the chance to move a little bit higher. There could be some volatility around the US data announcement, because we have option expiration, and then we have later on London fix, so be careful out there, and really monitor your position if you are staying short. Still, when it comes to the euro dollar, I do believe that the possibility for 120, 119.60 are in place here. The biggest loser post very weak data is a cable, and trying to make the engulf, and looks like huge monster upper shadow is building right now, and the next target is around 36, the weekly open. Watch out very carefully when it comes to the US data. The last one, when it comes to the dollar ahead of the PMI, is dollar yen. And here, guys, well, we finally hit the levels we discussed. We hit them yesterday. There was a stop count, right? So there was some kind of the consolidation. Then towards the end of the day, we retest that level, and we are testing levels related to the weekly open. So we are testing mid of that consolidation over here. So very important how we are going to behave at this level. If you are along, as discussed, probably you may want to work with your exposure ahead of the weekend. I have to get back to the Tokyo session for a second. Why? Because during the Tokyo session we also had some nice data. We had higher CPI out of the New Zealand, and we had very weak Australian retail sales. So with that being said, first thing first, Euro Australian dollar is doing the things we were talking about even yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, today as well. We are trying to get back above 57, 50, 50, 58. If we are going to have such a strong close, that might be very bullish for the next week. So that's the Euro Aussie. Let's have a look what we have when it comes to the NZDUSD, Kiwi US dollar. And here from the daily chart perspective, also very interesting thing. If you are going to check this rally, the drop below that demand, right? So we cleared that demand, okay? Then retest and close the gap when it comes to 7th of January low, right? Another breakdown. Demand retested, rally, so the zone of supply. So even with higher inflation, higher CPI, Kiwi dollar cannot hold the ground. Okay, that's number one. And well, in that case, levels close to 72.10. It could be supply zone, but I would be very careful with the Kiwi dollar. Let's check neighbors. Let's check Aussie versus Kiwi, and there you go. Very interesting situation here. What I'm talking about, we hit over under, we hit supply, and that's the third day we are losing the ground. We testing latest weakness over here. That's gonna be very interesting. All right, so I would prefer, in case of the comparison right now, instead of going short Kiwi dollar, probably I would prefer go short Aussie dollar. So let's switch to the Aussie dollar. All right, and what I would like to see here, I would like to finally see the break to the downside through 76.80, close below 76.80. If that's going to happen, then rally back a little bit, retest and lower. But the bulls may want to try some kind of deflect. So be careful trying to intraday shorts around 76.80 and wait for the confirmation, wait for the breakdown, retest and continuation to the downside. Going back for a second to the Aussie Kiwi here, right? If market, we are testing line in the sand or the zone in the sand, right? If we are going to close below 107, right, that could be the short setup. If we are going to see some kind of the consolidation, we might try to hold. So 107 line in the sand for the Aussie Kiwi. So guys, week is coming to the end. Euro dollar short is working. The rest maybe a little bit of patient, and let's have a look what kind of the weekly close we are going to get. With that being said, guys, wish you a great New York trading session. See you around. Take care and goodbye.